Hello, I'm Koyo for Breakout Music, and this is Now You Know. Our agenda remains the same for this week, to give you the most exclusive information about your favorite musical stars from the African continent, from East Africa, from Kenya, and from around the world. If it's your first time here, please do consider subscribing. But if you are a returning subscriber or visitor, please keep going and do tell your friends about us. Remember, this content is exclusively made for Breakout Music, and for more you can download the Breakout Music app on Play Store or on App Store to keep yourself updated with the latest content. Let's talk about one of Africa's leading hip-hop musicians, Cassper Nyovest, aka the Family Man. Did you know that his debut studio album titled Sholofelo was named after his younger sister? Yes, the guy named an album after his sister. Why did he do that? This story and much more on this week's installment of Now You Know. Refilo Maedofolo, known as Cassper Nyovest, is a South African rapper, songwriter, entrepreneur, and a record producer. He also makes a lot of hit songs as a producer as well. He started rapping at a very young age and gained recognition through his mixtapes and freestyles. It was in 2004, just 13 years of age, just 13 only. Cassper Nyovest formed a hip-hop group at 13 years, remember, called Childhood Gangster with his friends. 13, he had a group already. He then left the group to join another group. From group to group, the other group was now called Slow Motion, which had 8 members, including record producer called Gangram of Ganja Beats. At the age of 16, and after dropping out of school, Cassper Nyovest signed with Moswako record label Impact Sounds. The first ever deal he had was at 16, which also signed musicians like Tax, Sanganga, and Murafa in 2006. The relationship between Nyovest and Impact Sounds eventually became worse because of creative differences. Cassper is actually somebody who wants to express himself more, and he was not getting that with that record label. So in 2008, both parties actually separated, with Cassper Nyovest becoming an independent artist, also known as indie. In 2014, Cassper Nyovest released his debut studio album called Sholofelo, which showcased his lyrical ability and innovative sound. The first album. The album included hit songs like Gusheshe and Dok Shebeleza. Africans know this sound, Dok Shebeleza. Sholofelo means hope and is named after his younger sister. So why did he name this album after his younger sister? Hold on, he started working on this album as early as 2011, and he actually continued creating, writing through to the year 2014. The idea to name the album after his sister, the younger sister actually specifically, came after she gave Cassper Nyovest allowance, a food allowance, for him to move to Johannesburg, South Africa. At that time, Cassper Nyovest just quit everything and didn't have any money to travel to Joburg to hustle and make music. So the sister gave him the only money that she had. So that's why Cassper decided to name his first ever album after his sister. Ever since that day, it has always been about making sure that her sacrifices were not in vain. That's the story behind the first album. The sister gave him money to go to Johannesburg to create music, to hustle. So he's gonna fight for her. His second album, Refilo, was named after himself, and his third studio album, Tuto, was named after his other sister. So clearly, we see a man who truly loves his family and himself. Every album, the first one, sister, the second one, himself, the third one, other sister. One of Cassper Nyovest's most notable achievements is his fill-up concert series, where he aims to fill large stadiums with his performances. He successfully filled up venues like Tikepro Dome, actually in South Africa. He actually also filled up F&B Stadium in Johannesburg, SA, showing his ability to draw huge crowds. Nobody in South Africa can do this actually. Filling up a stadium is not a joke. Cassper Nyovest's big break came with the release of his debut single, Gusheshe, that actually happened in 2013. The song featuring Okmalokat gained significant attention and put him on the radar as, first of all, a young artist, but also as South African musician who's actually coming through with a very, very big force. His follow-up single, Dok Shebeleza, further solidified his presence in the industry and marked the beginning of his rise to fame. From Dok Shebeleza, Africans actually now understood, okay, this guy called Cassper, we should actually check him out. Cassper's influence extended beyond just music. He later on ventured into business, entrepreneurship, launching his own clothing line called Family Tree Match. And by the way, there's also a branch of this Family Tree Match that is also a record label. He also used this platform to advocate for positive change and uplifted people within South Africa, especially those marginalized communities. So he does much more than just music. Cassper Nyovest continued to release albums, with each album showcasing his growth as a musician, as an artist. His music often touched on personal experiences, societal issues, and his journey to success. Actually, he wants to put that as much as possible in his music to inspire the next generation. Cassper Nyovest's story reflects his determination, hard work, and the ability to overcome challenges to become a prominent figure in the South African music and culture, and also in Africa. He has a very big influence, and his commitment to his craft has earned him a special place in the hearts of his fans and his country and the continent of Africa. Recently, Cassper Nyovest and Nasty C announced an African tour called Throne World Tour, which includes 12 dates. It will run from the 18th of August, going to Arusha, Tanzania, until the 28th of October. Actually, they're ending the tour in Joburg, but they're going to Arusha, they're coming to Kenya, they're actually pushing the culture and meeting their fans. Though, like any celebrity, he has faced his share of controversies and scandals. A few controversies and scandals have been linked up with this rapper, Dr. Cassper Nyovest. Some of these scandals include Twitter scandals. Cassper Nyovest has engaged in Twitter feuds and disagreements with other musicians, industry figures, and fans. These online conflicts have occasionally, I repeat, occasionally headlined major tabloid newspapers in South Africa and sparks debate within the South African music community. But also, we remember Cassper Nyovest had a very strong beef with the late South African rapper, aka Cassper Nyovest, and fellow late South African rapper, aka, had a very long-standing rivalry that generated headlines over the years. Their feud was often played out on social media and has included personal attacks and verbal exchanges. And right until aka was actually passing away, they had not solved their differences. Also, another story that has been linked up with these allegations of disrespecting women. In the past, Cassper Nyovest has faced criticism for certain lyrics in his songs. This came from the songs that were perceived as very disrespectful to women. This led to discussions about responsibility of artists to be mindful of how they write, the messages they convey, and their fans, and how they actually seek to convey these messages. However, Cassper Nyovest, in all these situations, explained, and his fans actually understood him. He also had a very big feud with MT. MT is a rapper from South Africa as well. Cassper Nyovest and rapper MT have had public disagreements, including disputes over claims of who achieved certain milestones fast in their careers. He also have had a lot of legal issues. Cassper Nyovest has been involved for a long time in legal battles, including copyright disputes and contractual disagreements. These issues are not what actually defines him, because these are issues that are so common. The scandal, the Twitter, the copyright, record labels, people misinterpreting your lyrics. These are like common things. But also, Cassper Nyovest has also been affected by cancelled performances. Like many other artists, Cassper Nyovest has faced a situation where he had to cancel a scheduled performance due to various reasons. But some of these reasons, most of these people didn't understand, the fans. Some of them maybe had to be logistical issues, contractual disputes, or health concerns. Such cancellations have sometimes resulted into negative reactions from disappointed fans who walked in the street with placards, took the story to social media and everything. Scandals. When you are a superstar, you gotta have the scandals following you each and every day. So from his sister giving him her allowance so that he can go to Johannesburg, Joburg to follow his dream, to make music, to hustle, to where he is right now, putting family first. That's the key. That's the major key. Family is what we learn from this story. The first album named after his sister. The second one after himself, self-love, you know what I'm saying? The third one after his other sister. And actually, giving some biggest musical stars from Africa a voice to actually go global, like the Juiceback remix that he actually gave a verse to Nasty C. This is somebody who has done so much to the African hip-hop scene. If you listen to his sound, you actually understand that the sound is global. But also from coming from the street, not having money to even record or go to the studio or travel to Joburg, to filling up major stadiums in South Africa. I believe every young hip-hop musician from the continent has so much to learn from Cassper Nyovest. Patience is key, but also family is the major key. But for today, breakout music is the major key, like major key. You can subscribe, you can follow us across all of our social media platforms. And if you missed previous episodes of Now You Know, you can download the Breakout Music app on Google Play Store and get updated with the latest information about your favorite musical stars from around the world, from Africa, from East Africa, and from Kenya specifically. I'm Caleb Koyo from Kenya, and this content, like always, is exclusively made for breakout music. It's Now You Know, and I see you on another installment, hopefully next week. Stay lit.